You have several items of jewelry on today in the interview.
For sure.
What is your reason for jewelry?
I believe in ROI. That's return of investment. Um, Sad to say though, like being a rapper is like this the type of stuff that sell. So fortunately, like for me, I don't care about jewelry. I don't care nothing about like. I only care for assets and stuff like that. This type of stuff though, is pretty much determines the value from a consumer standpoint, and people don't spend money where they don't look. Where if an artist don't look like he getting the money, they ain't shopping with him. So, this right here might be 10,000, but it's gonna make me $100,000. This right here might be 50, but it's gonna make me $500,000. This right here didn't cost nothing, all real diamonds, but it's gonna bring me buku money because it's how the game goes. So once you learn the business, you just, they all are ROIs, as I call them, like return of interest. Return of investment. So, yeah.
What is your opinion of that, though? Even though that's what you see,
from a
what
high,
works, what is your own personal opinion of that?
It's kind of like, being real, it's foolish, honestly. Like, it's pointless. It's to each his own. Actually, you know what? I take that back. It symbolizes different things. Like, coming from nothing, I understand the average mindset, and I'm able to accept the concept and thought of it's a place of being grateful. Like, when you look at it and stuff like that, like, I was homeless, slept outside, I ain't have $1 to get no food, and now walking around with like over $100,000 worth of jewelry on, it's just kind of like, it's different. Like it represents a different stage of your life. But from a personal standpoint, from a moral standpoint, I don't value it. It don't add to who Euro GotIt is. It don't make me a man, no more, no less. You know what I mean? So I just, I appreciate it. I take more so the gift of understanding the value of it and how to generate income from it versus, actually just looking at it and feeling more of myself. I've been guided.
Now, my next question, I don't know if you answered that by what you said momentarily, but I'll still ask anyways. I was going to ask you, is jewelry necessary for a rapper?
Depending on understanding your demographics. I have a huge variety, but most of my fans are, like, come out of the hood era. Not even so much the hood era. It's more like the trap era, more like the projects, the streets. And so for me, for my demographic, where I'm at right now, is definitely necessary. And once I get to like code status, or once I get, like 21 and stuff like that, when you get up there to where it becomes optional because you a household name, you like solidified yourself as one of those top dogs, I don't need none of this stuff, then it's like, I can definitely convert and switch over to doing what I want. But right now, you gotta play your part, dude. Play the game. I'm playing the game.
You have a variety of pieces on today.
For sure.
Are you addicted to jewelry?
I'm addicted to what me wearing jewelry does, and that's generating funds. So the money that comes from me wearing the jewelry, yeah. If I gotta buy another piece, I'm gonna add another piece, and people want to see you upgrade. As long as that check gonna upgrade, I'm gonna upgrade. We're gonna keep going. Everything real.
So you would say an addiction to money?
Facts.
Now, do you remember your first chain ever?
Of course.
Take us. Oh, it was.
Oh man.
Take us back to that moment, that time.
So I was like, I was really like kind of clueless about it, and it was crazy. Cause I think I was in high school. I had bought this big ass, long ass Jordan piece. And of course, up under the glass that it was under, it was hitting so hard. I wasn't thinking about asking like clarity, no nothing. Man, I don't even know. I don't even really want to. The shit was embarrassing. I want to say that chain probably lasted all about like a week and a half before it broke, and then I was trying to do all kind of stuff to fix it. I mean, everybody went through that stage, but you feel like you the man with that little chain, so yeah.
Something you purchased in the mall?
What mall? No, I went to the flea market there. I went to the flea market, got that guy. I ain't know. Shoot, hell, we were buying joints out the flea market. I mean, that was the thing back then. Like, yeah.
Were they real Jordans?
Come on now, it's the flea market, of course not. I actually remember one time when Johnny Cinco, actually, I went to school with Johnny Cinco, he called me out because I didn't, for some reason, nobody gave me the memo. We wasn't doing them no more. And I'll never forget, it was my last pair. The last pair I had, there was the Retro 7s, all black, suede. Man, that man said, or it was some kind of material. And I saw Johnny sitting in the back of class, said, "Psst, hey. I called him. He looked out the door. I said, yeah, nigga, you ain't got these, you ain't got these. That nigga looked out and said, nigga, we ain't wearing them no more. Ain't nobody told you? Man, the whole class looked back and started laughing. I got the hell on. I was like, yeah. Took them all right there in the hallway. Wore some flip-flops for the rest of the day. And we ain't been back since.
What school was this?
May High School in Atlanta.
Now, how'd you figure out the chain wasn't real? Was it when it broke?
Hell no, I knew when I bought it, I knew it wasn't real, but it looked so good that I didn't know it was a difference in jewelry at that time. I was just like, shit, this shit shining. You know, I went to go buy me some Jordans, and I was like, damn, they got the Jordan chain. It's gonna go with my Jordan. I thought I was killing them folks. So that motherfucker almost killed me when it snapped. I was like, oh man, like dropped on the ground with a little cubic zirconia, one of them big ass pieces of cubic zirconia just came out. I'm like, yeah. That was the last time. I was like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. After that, I went and got some more fake jewelry. That was like later on in my upcoming stage of me trying to be a rapper. It was just kind of like, you know, I'm still doing showcases. But the one thing I understood is you got to have that look. Like, I knew I had to have a look. I didn't have the finances. Like, we ain't have PPP and SBA and all that other shit going on. It wasn't no scamming back then. Like, so I just shook whatever I could, like, to make myself. I knew what it was going to transition into at the end of the day. But I was just kind of at that mode, like, I got to fool whoever I can to make this shit look good, because they going to buy into the finesse, then we're going to turn the finesse into reality. And here we go today. That's the result of all that. Yeah, BBS everything.
So it was like a fake it till you make it strategy.
Faked it till we made it. Yeah, one of those. Cause we here now.
Now, what were those fake items when you were back in the showcase days that you had?
So much of that shit, I can't even remember. I ain't had no rings. I did. Of course, every nigga in Atlanta had the fake Rolex. Had to do that one. Had to. That was a must. Fortunately enough, I was doing golds back then. None of my golds were fake. And then I had switched it up. I started doing the golds, and I got one diamond over here on this side. It was a crushed up diamond. That was a real diamond, but it was an SI, so it didn't hit like that. You could just see it on the side, like, oh, I know what he's going for. Then, yeah, everything else after that, it was just kind of like, when you see it, it was like just different pendants. Like, you would know it ain't real, but it was just like, the way I carried myself, it was kind of like, I could see it being real. And plus, I was around a bunch of folks who didn't know the real from the fake. It wasn't until I jumped into the big league with the big dogs, when you get behind the door, it's like, the fake stuff be seeming like it's cool till you get with the ones who having them pieces on, then you be like, it's like, dang, you can't be going around baby and you know what I'm saying, no other rappers, like, you can't be in the room with that shit on. It don't work like that. So it was like, I faked it with the right crowd till I got in position to do the real thing, and then I jumped in the room with the big dogs, because it's kind of like ain't nobody talking down. It's like, okay, home, independent, he have it, for real. It's respect.
So for the Euro GotIt fans that have been watching you for years, what point was the real jewelry Do you remember what those real jewelry pieces
Yeah.
were?
Yeah, it's about when it started.
Yeah.
Um,
So if somebody's watching this and they go back to your history, they can say, "Oh, that's when it was."
it started. I want to bust him out on this interview, but I ain't gonna call no nigga. I ain't gonna throw no nigga on the bus like that. But you know, you had niggas out there like the food, like the. I'm talking about fake ain't the word. But I'm not knowing this. You know, like I was trying to shop with the real ticket, dropping real, you know, but it was coming back like, nah, that wasn't him. And so, like, when I first got my taste of real, I had a 36 millimeter Rolex, and it was the real Rolex, but it was like SI diamonds. So the diamonds was real too. The Rolex was real, but it wasn't like it was this right here. So it was like when I had got the let me see, what was the first thing I did? I think I started going to A&M Customs, and they did A&M. All my jewelry come from A&M Customs. What did I get first? I don't remember if I think I was getting my grill made, then I got my earrings. And my earrings didn't hit right with my watch. Like when I held them up to him, it was like, so I went to AJ, I said, I ain't gonna lie, I can't do this one. Like, this ain't looking right. I need some help. So he told me, he was like, all right, cool. He got me right and put me in the 41, gave him a good ticket for it, and it was just like, you know, I said, all right, give me a second. I came back to AJ, I want to say probably like a week. Skint down on it, and then it was like everything just started being, you just got to piece it. It don't matter how you do it, whether you start on one thing or another, just start piecing it. So I started piecing it. So it was like the earrings, and then the grill, and then the watch, and then the earrings got bigger, and then it's the ring, and then I was like, I gotta get another ring, and then, you know, it's you know, it can't get addicting. It can't get addicting when you going for that set look, like being a man, like it can't get addicting.
Now, when it came to the fake items that you did wear in the past,
Yeah.
did anyone catch on to it?
They probably did, but I wasn't giving a damn because the people who caught on to it, like, they didn't matter at that. Like, I wouldn't care because they probably was, if anybody noticed, it was because they were doing it. Everybody else who wearing the real deal, we ain't paying attention to them folks who, you know, we understand your point at where you at, but you can't come holler at us. Just don't talk to us right now. We know what you doing. Work your move, get all of them, and then, you know, when you ready to triple up, then come on, holler at us. But I ain't really give a damn. I knew where I was trying to get. I was like, as long as I could fake it to make it look good, to get where I need to go, I ain't thinking about that. I ain't worried about what nobody thinking about.
No, I definitely understand that. I just wondered, you know, as you were making your way up the ladder to success, if anyone maybe pulled you to the side or... And it
if I had one of them conversations, yeah, I did. And the conversation was, I'll never forget it. My boy was telling me and said, hey, bro, listen, man. And that's when it started making sense. That's when it clicked for me because he was telling me, he was like, look, bro. He wasn't direct with it, but I read in between the lines of where he was putting me on game. He said, look, bro, you at a level now. You finna go in the room with these big dogs. You can't, you know, like, you don't want to be in there with them and they shining, hitting, and you fooling, you know, them out here, but you ain't fooling nobody in here. Like, you got to start giving them conversation pieces. When he said conversation pieces, it started clicking. I'm like, oh. So that's when I had to understand, like, excuse me, from the drip to the cologne, these are conversation starters. These are certain pieces, like, it's certain stuff that you wear to get the attention of the peers or the people that's around you. That'll make, you know, you could wear a certain fragrance and walk in a spot with the high ends, and it's like, they know you smell expensive. They know this ain't YSL, this ain't nothing you buying out of Macy's. They know you coming with it like, oh, home dropping $1,000 on cologne. Like, we smelling it. Like, we know it. People can look at the jewelry and see you. They just like, man, that look nice. Where you get that from? And so everything be conversation. So when he brought that into... He made me consider that. I said, oh, man. So I was like, yeah, I gotta bring this into fruition, and that's that's really what happened. So it's like, you know, even now it's like I don't mind going out to spend like $2,400 on a shirt because it's ROI. Like, I hook up with the right person at home over here, a millionaire. He got something going on, but he understand the shirt I got on. He want to know what I got going on. We done built a friendship, so it's kind of like you got to learn how to make your money work for you. And me getting that conversation about the fake jewelry, that opened my eyes to a lot of things. So it made it bigger than just doing it because they wearing fake stuff. It's like, yeah, we playing the game.
Was this an advisor, a consultant, management? Was it another recording artist that pulled you to the side and had that conversation with you?
Nah, it was a friend. Friend just told like he one of those people. He on a different level than what he was on a different level than where I was. So, but it was still like I always had genuine conversation and been genuine with people with. So it didn't matter that the level certain people was on. I always was able to adapt and attract higher than where I was because I knew I was trying to get there. And so when we connected, we just had one of those real talks, and he was just giving me game for like, yo, elevate yourself. Like I see it mentally, but I'm gonna help you do it from the physical aspect as well. This is what you gotta do. I learned game and I ran with it.
Now that you have real jewelry, what is your opinion on those who wear fake jewelry?
I mean, longer they try to turn the fake into real, I don't know what nobody do. Like, everybody got their own hustle on how they make it. Don't come around me trying to pop your shit, though. Like, that's it. But I understand the game you playing, and I'm always respecting. I ain't gonna never downplay nobody because I played that game. That's the game I played. I ain't gonna sit here and knock no nigga. Like, some people believe in fake it till you make it. Some people had it where they just made it all the way through or kept it real all the way through. People did whatever they did to get there. So long as it's a point behind what you're doing and you plan on making it something real, hey, man, handle your business. That's all I mean.
Does wearing fake jewelry, though, make one a fake person?
No. Your mindset make you a fake person. I always took accountability. I knew my shit wasn't real, but I knew I was gonna turn it into something real. So it was like I was real enough to keep it real with me. I ain't gotta go out here and announce it to y'all it's fake. I know on the inside, it ain't no point in expressing you because I can tell you my jewelry fake. Oh, this nigga fake, that's your. I knew what I was. I knew the whole point was like, look, man, it's fake. We're gonna turn it into reality and make it real. And so it's like, nah, you're not a fake person. Just don't walk around trying to make people believe that that's him and it really ain't him. That's when you're a fake individual.
Now, when you did wear fake jewelry, do you think it worked?
I know it worked. It definitely worked. The people I was around, because the crazy part is, not saying this, I'm not gassing myself at all. It's just I always believed in myself so much that I will always try to look like a superstar. It'll be 100 degrees outside, and I'll be outside in a fur jacket on. This is no bullshit. People who know me will tell you this. Going to do open my eye, I have on a leather jacket. I don't give a damn. I'm trying to look like a superstar. So it was like, it's different ways to have your jewelry perceived. You can't be a cornball wearing fake jewelry and everybody looking at you like, this nigga. It's like, shit, people knew I was trying to scale up. They seen my grind, they seen my hustle. So it was like, home might have that jewelry on, but to them it was kind of like, to the people who don't know about real jewelry, it looked like everything to them because my persona, the way I dressed, everything matched it. So it was like home just a fly ass nigga. They ain't thinking about, man, let me check and see like that. It was just, that was part of my look. And so it was like, I mean, look where we at now. Who could say what? Who cares?
Thinking also about it when you did wear fake jewelry.
Yeah.
Was it really good fake jewelry?
Yeah.
It looked the part. It looked legit.
It definitely looked the part. It looked the part, but it looked the part for the ones who didn't know. Like, it's just for the ones who didn't know. The ones who know, you gonna have a hard time. I have yet to see somebody that just had an impressive fake jewelry game. I ain't seen it yet. Like, nothing. I ain't never seen nobody. I ain't seen it been pulled off. If it happened, it happened, but I haven't seen it been put on. I'm not just sitting here saying I'm the jury man. It's just talking to my jeweler and talking to different people at different levels who understand like the quality of jewelry and stuff like that. I just have a way where I could just look at it and just be like, like that ain't him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not downplaying it, it's just you could just look at it. So.
And how can you tell? How can you spot the difference? You having real jewelry now, you wore fake before. How can you, what's the hint?
Well, for me, it's I learned, like, diamonds attract light. So it's like one thing I could say about, like, all the lights go off in the club. If there's any hint of light anywhere, diamond's going to pull that light to it. And so it's like, that's why when the lights go out, I be glad, like, you know, we going to hold them up because it's like some way, somehow, it's still going to hit regardless. In the dark, it's going to hit. Lights out, it's going to hit. That's one of the hints and the tools that I got. You know, I ain't going to just sit here and, like I know all about the clarity and cuts and all that stuff like that. I know a little somebody, but my number one way to spot it is just like them diamonds, like real diamonds gonna attract light. So when you got on that cloudy shit and lights go out, we won't see nothing because that ain't him. Yeah.
What about SIs? Would SIs hit at all if the lights go out?
I had SIs. I don't think SIs hit like that. I mean, you know, some people got different quality of SIs, like, you know, some people like to mix their jewelry in with SIs and stuff like that. I like to stick with VSs and VVSs as well. SI just passes a real diamond. It's just, even during the day, it's just a different hit. It don't hit like that. It don't hit at all, to be honest.
Now, when you were wearing fake jewelry, and this is probably my last question about fake jewelry, did it work as much as it did on the industry people, other recording artists, as it did women? Or maybe it worked even better on women than it did music industry and other recording artists when you wore fake jewelry, if you can recollect?
Fake jewelry work for women, like, it depends on a certain type of women too, because it's like, if you talking about just regular women, not these high-class women who been exposed to some stuff. Regular women, they go for anything. These niggas out here wearing fake everything. Like, these niggas fake. They going for these niggas. You know they going for the jewelry. Like, it just really, like I say, a big factor is the persona that you carry. Like, you can make your fake jewelry look good for what you got going on based on your persona. You know, you wear it in whatever crowd that you in that don't, you know, pay attention to that, a regular crowd or something like that. As long as you ain't with the big dog, like the big dog's gonna be able to spot everything. They've been exposed to everything. So you just can't come around, you can't come around with like a fake Louis Vuitton bag and trying to tell girls who always in Louis Vuitton how it's not fake. Like, we know this, we can spot it. Like, it ain't even up for discussion. So it's kind of like, you know, you gotta make it work. But for the industry people, no. Industry people see too much on a day-to-day basis to not be able to pick up if you're trying to, like, fake it till you make it if your jewelry is fake. And if they can't pick it up, then, yeah.
Well, there's different levels of people in the music industry.
That's what I was just thinking about, too.
When I was saying music industry and recording artists, I meant those that wouldn't be able to tell if it was real or not.
Oh, you know, no disrespect for them. They just got to scale their way up because I don't even know how they seem relevant. No offense, but yeah, we being 100.
And curious here, because when it comes to jewelers and jewelry, there's so much of this information and people advertising on the internet that one could see who's high-end and who's not and this, that, and the third. But when it comes to colognes, not everybody watching this interview is cologne savvy.
Right, facts.
Curious on the high-end cologne names, you know, that upper echelon wears. I don't know if you're able to share with us what those fragrances are.
Well, of course, everyone, when I say the number one, of course, go to Baccarat. Baccarat done kind of got like worn. It's so played out to me. I mean, it's an everyday go-to. And it is expensive. It still hold value, but it's just because when you get to around a certain tier of people, you don't want to smell the same fragrance on everybody. You be like, oh my God, he smell like weed and baccarat. She smell like baccarat. You get in somebody's car, it smell like baccarat. Like it's like baccarat is like the curb or the upper tier or something like that. Then you got your different fragrances. Me personally, excuse me, I base a lot of my fragrances off of, like, it has to match up with the like my pheromones and stuff. So a lot of fresh scents and strong scents and stuff like that, it don't work for me. I got to do like I have to do almost like a sweet scent, and then it's like it mix in like with my pheromones and give it like a hint of spice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I gotta have mine toned down. And then there's just like certain ones like you got ouds and stuff like that that are more expensive because they highly concentrated. I can't do a highly concentrated. Mine got to be light. So it's just really like understanding the chemistry of like how fragrances work with your body. But the top categories would definitely be what's that the makeup baccarat. I can't think of the name of it right now. Different Bond number 9s. I love Bond number 9s. New York Nights, Dubai, certain creeds. I like creeds. I also like to base the fragrances based off like occasions. When you go into like a professional occasion or something like that, I prefer something a little bit more spicy or a little more with like the fresh scent to it and stuff like that, because it give you that sense of like, okay, home mean business. Like he ain't too comfortable, but it's like, you know, like your if you know how to wear your fragrances can have certain characters. When I'm going to the club or something like that, I'm not pulling up for these niggas. I'm pulling up for the bras. So what the bras like, they like something fun. They like something smell good. That's when you pull out the New York Night, Dubai, and stuff like that. Because when it hit, it's just kind of like, you know, they get that whiff when they walk by. It give you that sweet, let's have fun aura. Like, oh, he getting money. I can fuck with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand different fragrances and the different type of characters that these people, that they can give you when you walking through certain rooms and working certain crowds. So it's kind of like, it's just something like you just got to study for real, for real.
How does one learn that about themselves, like their own pheromones and what to mix this and that with? Is there a specialist to go see? Is there somebody to go talk to about or consult about that sort of thing?
You could, but I just did it I did it the nigga way. I bought them and just put them on, see what go and what they don't go. I mean, I get to my partners, like, I can't do this, but I could do this one, and stuff like that. My pops was in Colognes, too. He didn't get up to that level where I'm at with it, but it's like me paying attention, like how he always, you know, had fragrances and stuff. Then you got certain ones, you know, you can mix and stuff like that, a lot of bonds, so.
So you were more so trial and error.
There you go. Fast.
Now, fast forwarding today,
mm-hmm.
This piece that you have around your neck now, this chain around your neck, can you give us the story on that?
Yeah.
It looks like you.
It is me. I actually went up to the jewelers and they was A&M Customs, and they was just like, hey, we want to do something for you. And I was like, all right, cool. And they said, hold still, take a picture. And they snapped me. Like, you can even see right here, I still got my, I always walk around my Louis bag. They still got the Louis strap on it and everything. They drew up all of this. They put the witchicum, and they said they had a surprise for me. So that's what they did. It's a 3D custom piece. My face. It got the Goyard design in the back of it. It said King got it. So, you know, for my first piece, I'm rocking with it. Like, it was love. All diamonds, real VVS diamonds. All the tattoos is detailed. I had the beard back then. I'm probably going back to it around wintertime, but you know, yeah, got the VVS earrings on the side and everything, like teeth and all.
So this was a gift.
Yeah. I spent a lot of money with them. Like, you know, they show love. I appreciate that.
Now, also too, when you were beginning this conversation with me about jewelry, you kind of mentioned this might be 10 and you were kind of looking at your rings, and then you said this might be 50 and you were looking at your watch. What about the earrings and what about the grill?
Yeah, they were up there. The grill was like, this was my first expensive piece of jewelry. I shot with AJ, he showed me some love. Ticket was it was steep, but for the quality of diamonds, I respected it, I understood it, but I was like, it's what I needed to take me to that next level. So it was an investment. And it was like the more and more I started going to them, it was like the more and more it was just like, you know, he started working these like 7.5, these VVS.
Per earring?
Yeah. No. Together.
Okay.
That's it, yeah. That's on the love. Yeah. Yeah, I dropped everything else. I pretty much dropped pretty penny for.
Now, as far as the grill,
Mm-hmm.
is it a certain setting this is called that you have? Is this a certain type of clarity, certain type of cut?
VVS down.
And then what about the earrings, the rings, the watch? Do you know the clarity?
You know, to be honest with you, I respect the jeweler. Like, he's so passionate about it, and I know he gonna watch his interview and be like, "Damn, that man said that." He be telling me about all this stuff. I don't really be giving a damn. I just be wondering, like, yo, is it VVS? Is it VS? How does it hit? Turn the light out. Let me see him. And you know, I respect it. I be wanting to learn it, but do it hit? Is it real? Turn the lights out. Am I gonna get respected? All right, bag it up.
That's the checklist.
And that's it. Outside of that, you know.
Now, why do you use this particular jeweler? Because there are a variety of jewelers out there you could. So why this person that you trust with all your jewelry?
It's the respect. It's the respect. Like, when we met prior to me even doing work with him, it wasn't we actually had a legit talk. And I'm big on respect. And the respect was there. Like, he was telling me what he knew of me, like, and everything. And we was talking about the industry. We had religious talks. We had all kind of talks to where it started as a friendship. And then I was just like, you know, I was talking to him, and I actually just checked it out, and I'm like, dang. And he was like, yeah, like, I'm having it. I just got to Atlanta, and nobody really know. So I'm like, dang, this like a gold mine. Like, and now, here we are. He was just like, yo, I mean, you know, this, that, and the third. If we lock in together, this, that, and the third, I think we can grow and expand. And yeah, it's been up ever since.
And so initially when you guys met, did he approach you? Did you approach him?
We actually met through my manager, Black. Cause when I was getting some money, like not like this shit stop. But when it was like really coming in, I was ready to spend. I'm like, man, look, I got to go crazy right quick. He was, I'm gonna find somebody. And because he was explaining to me about like, yo, don't just be throwing your money away just because niggas saying they going here. Like, we ain't doing that. Like, nigga, it's diamonds out here, my nigga. Like, you ain't got to go to him because they gonna tax you just because them niggas coming to them. They don't know you, this, that, and the third. Hold your horses. I said, goddamn. It was probably about like a week later. He called me and was like, I got him. I need you to come up here, holler at him, this, that, and the third. I went out there to see him. Went to see AJ and, and Mike. Yeah, we talked. We talked about a good hour, stuff like that. I came back the next time. We started talking again. I started really looking at it then. And then it was just like, he showed me like his idea and concept of the grill and stuff like that. And he was just like, you tell me what you want to do. So I was like, first I did 6 and 6. But my mouth so goddamn big, it wasn't enough. I really thought I was saving. I was really jugging myself because I had to come back and then I had to get the 10 and the 8. So I can get everything. But yeah, that's how we started.
Now, you mentioned religion in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow one?
I'm spiritual. No. I'm spiritual.
Were you raised to follow religion before you became spiritual, or you were always like that?
Nah, I grew up in the church. I grew up apostolic. So it wasn't no earrings. No pants for the girls, no makeup. It was strict. It was strict.
And was that both your mother and father raising you under that?
I think my mom was strong on it. My dad, he was more so like do the right thing, but I feel like my dad was just, I feel like my dad was super religious based on the fact of my mom and him trying to, you know, I ain't never take him to be super religious though. Her though, yeah.
She was the leader of it.
She's Christian. She's that Christian.
Now, for you, how did you become spiritual and why did you become spiritual?
I just had to start thinking for myself. I think religion to me, in a lot of walks of life, where if I see there's a lot of monetary benefits from it, such as Christianity, I don't knock the people who believe in it for a rightful purpose, but I just feel that it's too much of a control mechanism. I don't think that there should be a competition when it comes to religions. Like, Christians shouldn't be calling out Buddhists and Islam, and nobody should really be trying to knock nobody else's religion, because it's all about what makes us the best person that we can be. And if you choose to walk as a Buddhist and I choose to walk like worship Hindu or whatever, it's about what's making me be a better person, because at the end of the day, we still should have the same end goal. And it shouldn't be no hate when it comes down to it. And I feel like a lot of religious people, it's a lot of religious hate wars, which I don't see how you doing that when the first thing you talk about is love. So I just had to get away from it. It's too much control. It's narcissistic. You're taught not to think for yourself, just to allow the higher power. I don't believe that that's what God called for us to do. So I had to get away from it. I had to really tap in, step outside the box, and figure out what made sense for my being who Euro GotIt is, and what do I feel proud of. And I feel like after coming to that understanding, it's like I just watch everything just like unfold the way it's supposed to.
Now, when did this happen in your life? When did you divert from
Christianity?
Yeah. And consider yourself spiritual? At what point? What age? Or
I want to say probably around, honestly, probably around 2017 I started questioning. 2018 I was like, Honestly, by the time 2019 hit, I think I was completely sure that I was just, probably about around the end of 2019, I was just like, I'm done with it completely. Because it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It was too many rules for me to be trying to follow or thinking I should abide by when I really don't even think I should abide by these rules. I'm like, I had to do away with it. So I talked to God, I asked for answers, and one thing about it, every time he showed me stuff, it manifests itself and it reveals itself, and I go with it, so.
And for time reference, it's May 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because your mother's very religious and your father to a degree, and you are spiritual, did that cause a rift of any sort between you or your parents?
No, I don't really talk about it that much. I don't really talk about it. I don't talk about it with nobody because I don't really care to force nothing on. If people got questions, I don't mind, speaking on it. But outside of that, it's whatever working best for somebody else. It's like that's good for them. My concern is just making sure, you know what I'm saying, I'm protecting my peace.
Now, when it comes to jewelry, I have a few more questions left about it. I know you didn't state how much every single item was on your body. Mm-hmm. You know, the chain was a gift. But whatever the cost that you personally spent total on all your real jewelry items, has that cost been worth it? Whatever that amount was.
Yes. And I made that money back over and over just from doing this, just from putting it on Instagram, just from people seeing it. People, promoters in the country towns who don't know me might come to Atlanta and be like, who are you? just 'cause they see the jewelry, and then I tell them who I am, and they get on Instagram. They be like, "Oh, I want to book you." So it's like, it talk for me. It's gonna make my money. Long as it's gonna bring me back more money, I'm gonna pimp it. I'm gonna wear it. These my hoes right here. Yeah.
Is this the current set, or are there other items you just didn't wear today?
I don't be wanting to be I don't be wearing all my items like that. Like, I ain't gonna just put on everything just because, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever just sit right, I feel like putting on, I put it on.
Have there been pieces you just don't wear anymore? Have there been items you don't wear anymore? Or is everything still in rotation somewhere?
Now, if I feel like I ain't gonna never wear it no more, I get rid of it. Like, I get rid of it and then just go upgrade.
And what is your opinion on jewelry insurance?
It's much needed. Much needed. Not even just because, not from like a scary standpoint, but I mean, it's Atlanta, especially if you're in Atlanta. So much stuff happens. People breaking your house, people breaking your car, people, you're a sucker, you get it taken off you. Even if you ain't no sucker, you get it taken off you. It's people out here hungry, desperate, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, yeah, it's definitely much needed.
When it comes to your current jewelry that you have, that's all real.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an embarrassing moment with any of those items?
Nah, never. Never, nah. That's the best part about it. Yeah, they bring that test out, it don't matter. Bring whatever, come with it.
Aside from yours,
Mm-hmm.
favorite chain in hip-hop of all time? Could even be a chain you saw when you were growing up. And if you don't have a favorite, maybe there's a chain that comes to mind just me asking that question.
I'm seeing a bunch of chains in my head. I don't know. I don't know. I guess because I understand them, they don't really just, I ain't impressed by it. I be impressed by the money you make back off of it more so. So when I see them, I like the creativity. Dang, man, you really got me thinking. I done seen some crazy creative pieces. I be liking them all, really, be real. I ain't got none that I just dislike. For real, for real.
I was going to ask you my next question, ugliest chain of in hip-hop of all time, but I don't know if you have one based on that answer.
I ain't gonna sit here and say it's the ugliest. I feel like, to me, this just me though. Yeah, it's his own doing. I wasn't really, I ain't even gonna say, I wasn't feeling that big ass chain. That was.
Oh, the T-Pain chain.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I mean, I didn't knock it. It was a big ass chain. Not my T, but he wasn't doing it for me no way, so it don't really matter, you know what I mean?